Alright, and it's your boy iDef, and I'm back with another review for you guys, and I know, it's already been like 12 or 13 days or something, but better late than never. Again, I will try to be more consistent, but again, I will make no promises. But we got the total anime Izuku Midoriya. This is the only total anime figure I have, so I don't have much to compare it against. I do have some things I want to compare it to, though, so just take a look at the box. Personally, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I like the design. I think it's a nice little box. Especially if it being like a $20 figure, which I got it on clearance for like $12 at Walmart. Just to put that out there. So, I don't know if these went on clearance or not. I haven't watched either of these shows. I know I need to watch Attack on Titan though. I don't know anything about Spy Family. But, I've heard a lot of good things about this figure. If you guys are interested in this brand, look up reviews about this. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But yeah, pretty plain. Doesn't really tell you anything. Nothing good on the bottom. Nothing too crazy on the side, but it's a nice little clean box. But let's go ahead and run it through the old IDEF system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here he is out of package, and before I even say anything else, I did take all the little lightning effects off of him just to make everything easier because they are removable, and I am going to consider them accessories, even though they did come on him, they are removable, so just putting that out there. Is the figure in good shape? To be honest, no, but also, this is a $20 figure, and I also got it on clearance, so I didn't come here to be rough on it. He's got a little bit of mess in his hair. I don't even know if you can see it, to be honest, so... but if I take off the hairpiece, which... screw it, it's not, like, hard to do it, I'll show you. He's got a little bit of something going on the forehead. I kind of got some of it off. Here's the thing, though. I don't... you can't see it at all, so that's not an issue, but there's just kind of a lot of paint swashed throughout, but it's really not that bad. He still looks pretty good, and it almost honestly, I think some of this is actually like a black wash, so that's actually pretty cool. There's a black wash in here. I do heavily mess with that. So, he's in pretty good shape, though. None of his joints are, super loose. He actually did have some kind of tight joints, but not too bad. So, does the figure function as intended? He's got pretty good head articulation. I'm gonna say bar none, this is better than most SH figure arts, to be honest. This is pretty crazy. It's because he's got a double neck joint that just gives it a lot of range, and yeah, it can look weird in some angles. I will say, in general, this figure does kind of have an uncanny look to him, but that's not bad. Look at that, bro. You can give him some sass. It's crazy. Also, not technically part of the articulation, but this is a loose little piece, which I don't know if I like that or not, but so far it's not a problem. Oh, that goes a little high. Hold on. Let's get his body straight. Okay, no, it's about a 90-degree angle. There's a 45. Oh my god, I forgot again, bro. I'm so bad. Anyways, though, you can't complain. And he does have butterfly. You can't see it at all, really, but he's got some decent butterfly. I don't know if, maybe that's even getting in the way. Maybe he can go a little bit further forward. I kind of want to mess with that real quick. He's not, quite over, but, that's not bad at all, to be honest. The soft torso thing is, a hit or miss, if it's implemented correctly. But it does have bicep swivel, which is nice. And then he's got a double jointed elbow, which has a nice little bend to it. It's waving at you. And then... that wasn't on purpose. Oh my god, bro. Oh boy. But because of his gauntlets, he can't go out too far, but just enough where you can probably, get some stuff done with him. I'm so sorry. That was funny. But also, yeah, so let's just get into his torso. Pretty common thing with a lot of figures is like they'll go back really far, and then let me get the waist to go forward, and then like the forward crunch is just kind of lacking. But you know what? That's still better than most McFarlane, so whatever. And then both of these twists, which is nice. And then guess what? This dude has drop down. So without drop down, he gets like right there, which this is kind of a hard piece, so you can't technically push against it. But if you drop it down, you can get up pretty high. And if you push too hard, these legs just pop right off, which is not a bad thing because they don't seem to loosen up too much when they pop off. And then for the split, his legs kind of automatically drop down when you do the split, so it just kind of is what it is, but he gets a perfect split. And when you do drop it down, you can actually kind of doing all sorts of crazy shit. His leg does like just straight go back a little bit, which again, that's nice. Something that does suck is he doesn't have any sort of rotation. He got a little bit up here, but besides that, the ankles, as far as I can tell, have no sort of rotation. Like there's no thigh rotation, unless they're just not, like there's just, it's not there. So that kind of sucks. Takes away a lot of like posability. That's not too bad though. And then probably another one of the worst parts of his articulation. You get a good point, like it goes back. See if I can pull that out a little bit and go for it. That's like what you're getting. So it's gonna limit his running poses a lot. If you're doing them with like, if they're not, is static the right word? Like if he's less like mid-run, like his foot's planted like type pose, like it's going to be harder to do some of those, I think, in my opinion, like with his leg kind of bent and stuff, like because you can't go forward with it. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. But so I'm a little rusty. I don't know if I missed any articulation. I don't think I did. I would say for being a 20-book figure, he definitely functions as intended. Easily contends with like a Marvel Legend or like a McFarlane. Not saying I necessarily picked this over either or, but it's not a bad figure, especially for being on the like discount. So yeah, go ahead and stand him back there. So for everything that's included with him, I guess we'll go over the effects first. I'm not going to put them on. I'm just going to show you. But he's got like, what is it, like 4 or 5 of these. So you got this big one that's like, they don't give you instructions or really a picture. But this came on his neck. But the picture on the back kind of shows it on his body. I don't really know. You can do whatever you want with him, however you get him to fit on. But you got ones for his arms and legs. And then look at this. You got 2 more. Which, I suck at using stuff like that, but I know a lot of people appreciate those, and I do too. It's just I need to get better at using them. Less important, but I do appreciate a nice stand. You could also probably modify this into something, like if you really wanted to. It's a nice shape. Oh, sorry. He comes with 3 face plates, which is cool. It's got like kind of an angry, like pissed off, like serious face. That's the one that comes on, by the way. Like that was in the package, like kind of a, I don't know, something's happening, you know what I mean? He's worried, he's freaking out. But then you got kind of just a chill, hanging out with Izuku and Midoriya. He's at school, everyone's having a good time. And then, is it called shoot style, I believe? He's got the shoot style hands, which is, it's sick. It's nice to have those. He doesn't have a lot else for like displaying any of his powers. But I do believe this is also like a younger Midoriya who doesn't have access to a lot of his abilities yet, which I'm not going to go into that for spoiler reasons. But then, obviously you need some fist hands, which 3 sets of matching hands. Look at that. Who would have thought? Marvel Legends, McFarlane. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a little rant about this real quick. It is enraging to have non-matching hands. Now, if they're specific, like for a certain, like even if it's a like specific panel from a comic and that's what the hands are for, is to like recreate that pose, that makes sense. But when you have like one fist hand, one palm hand, you got a web shooting hand and a wall crawling hand, you know what I mean? And there's like no matches. That sucks. Nobody likes that. Stop it. But anyways, sorry. That was let's do some scaling. I'll be right back. I don't know if I'm tripping, bro, but I feel like this is some pretty good scaling right here. I like it. Maybe stands a little bit on the big side, but I really don't mind it, bro. Oh, sorry. That is the McFarlane My Hero Academia stand, I should point out. Now, strictly speaking off canonic heights, this is not accurate. However, when I immediately was picturing putting these two figures next to together, because they're both, you know, budget anime figure brands. Well, this is Jazzwares. I can't remember who makes Anime Heroes, but this is the Anime Heroes Chainsaw Man. But this scaling to me just looks right. It works for me. This is how I would imagine them next to each other if they met. This figure is okay. He's just okay. A lot of flaws with the design, in my opinion. That being said, for the price, though, it's not worth complaining about. I'm just saying he could be better. That's all I'm saying. Now, I chose not to use a stand. I really don't think I could have gotten a better pose using the stand, personally. All I'm gonna say is if you put this in the like right hands, someone's gonna cook with this thing, in my opinion. But when it comes down to it, like, if you have the money, you may as well pick up that Stitch Fig Arts, which, like, I'll also be honest, that's why I even picked up this guy, because I knew I was eventually going to get whatever good version there was, which I know there has been a Revoltech, which I think I'm going to go with that Stitch Fig Arts personally, but I essentially got him to compare him when I did finally get him, and I can already see how it's going to go. Like, I know that Stitch Fig Arts is going to be better, but as far as a budget figure goes, like, it's really just not bad. Like, there's not a lot of terrible things to say about it. The most egregious problem with it is the ankles. They just need to go forward more. Or, you know, that would have been a non-issue if you would have just gave him, like, toe articulation, but whatever. Yeah, these things, I don't know if this looks good or not. I don't know how to figure these out. I'm terrible with them. I don't know how to get them to flow right. I try not to overuse them though. But yeah, for $20, I don't think most people will regret picking them up, especially for, like, you know, if he's on like discount or, you know, whatever. The clearance, that's what it's called. You find him on clearance and you like, you know, My Hero Academia, whatever, he's definitely worth picking up. So if you want to figure you don't really have to worry about messing up and you want to, like, mess around with, pose him a lot, or, you know, something to practice with, whatever. But I don't think at the end of the day he's going to be like anyone's, like, base Izuku, like, you know, the one you go to when you're like, yeah, that's the best one out, like, whatever. But I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was informative. I'm out.